Belal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns have saved UFC 288 by providing an exciting co-main event. But my question is, why are they even fighting? What is the point? Mark, why do you think these two would fight? What do you think the reward is for them?
I honestly think with Colby being promised that he's next in line for the title shot, we don't even have a date for that. And then surely one of these two was bound to be next after that. That's a long time to wait, is that? So I honestly just feel like this is a fight to solidify whoever wins out of Colby and Leon to fight the winner of this fight, if that makes sense. This feels like a weird WWE King of the Ring tournament, this kind of thing. But the welterweight division of the UFC.
It really does, doesn't it? And it is they're both in tricky spots, aren't you? Because, like you said, Dana White has said that Colby Covington is getting the next title shot, and he does not seem to be budging from that. And I think if Gilbert Burns beats Belal, he probably does deserve it more. But Dana's not going to push. This is going to happen. Colby Covington is going to fight Leon Edwards next. So it puts both Belal and Gilbert Burns and all the other contenders in this really weird position where they're just waiting now to see who's going to win out of those two so that they can get that next title shot. Because I feel as though this is not a good fight for Gilbert. I think, yes, he can probably win, and I think he probably will win. But I think there's so much risk and very little reward because I felt like he was the top contender anyway. I felt like no matter what, he was going to be the next person to fight the winner of Leon versus Colby. So why risk this? Do you think that perhaps they're getting a nice sort of cash reward? It's going to be very profitable for both of them.
Well, to save this dull-ass card, I think they've definitely both been highly rewarded. But it honestly wouldn't surprise me if Gilbert's got an extra payday. If Dana just took him in the back one day and said, I'll give you an extra 100K if you just get Belal out of here. I'm sick of him. He's always in my hair, always calling for a title shot, stood there in cage with his shades on, telling me to remember his name. Just do me a favour, Gilbert. Go on.
Well, I think that's a bit unfair. Gilbert's now an assassin for Dana White. But if Gilbert does win this, I know obviously we've said Colby's getting that title shot, but do you think that does, in your mind, push Gilbert higher up for the contender and pushes him higher up than Colby Covington? Do you think he deserves a title shot more?
Yeah, 100%. That's my answer straight away. I think it definitely does. Look, everyone's saying, look, I'm a fan of Colby, but he doesn't fight regular. A win over Jorge Masvidal last year, over a year ago, and he's still next in line when Gilbert's just been there constantly, not going away. Like, come on. And then if he does get Belal out of there, look, we all joke and say how boring Belal is and that, but he's a top-level contender. He's a very much a problem in the welterweight division for whoever he's fighting. If he can get Belal out of there, he's 100% secured it. Personally, I'd love to see Gilbert and Colby go at it more than any of these other title fights, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I think, same as you, I'm a huge fan of Colby Covington. And when it first got announced that he would be fighting Leon, well, not officially announced, but Dana kept saying it, I did look at that division and go, well, who else is there? You know, there's not many contenders available. Colby's, the highest ranked guy. I was like, yeah, okay, that seems legit to me. I can see why they're making that. But now if Gilbert does beat Belal, it really does set him up as the next title contender. And he does deserve that title shot. And I think there's going to be a bit of a backlash with Dana then. I think it's going to be even more difficult for him to sell Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards because you do have this great contender in Gilbert Burns ready to go who could really cause Leon some problems. But if Belal beats Gilbert Burns, do you think that should push him into a title shot?
Honestly, yeah. I seriously do. He's been, if you're getting everyone out of the way, boring or not, he's still not finishing fights, apart from his last outing, but he's still getting the win. And to finish someone like Gilbert Burns, to get him out of there, I don't know why I keep saying finish in the same sentence as Belal Muhammad, stop dreaming. But, it's hard to deny.
I'll be dreaming when I'm watching a Belal fight, so don't worry about
it. That is true, yeah. But honestly, it's so hard to deny him, to deny it. To take Sean Brady's 0 in the UFC to get Gilbert Burns out of there, who's a top level guy. Honestly, I'd be annoyed, to be honest, if them two have just, whoever wins out of them two, and then they've got to sit back and watch Colby fight for the title, who hasn't fought in over a year, just because he beat Masvidal over 5 rounds. I mean, come on, to knock out Sean Brady and for Gilbert to get a round 1 submission over Neil Magny and then to take George 3 rounds and just pretty much dominate that fight. You know, Masvidal maybe had a couple of good shots in, but he took little to no damage. It's hard to deny either of them.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like with this fight, both of these guys do deserve a title shot, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And that's why I don't get why they're fighting. I feel like it's very little reward for too much risk. But I do think that's all we've got time for. Thank you for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help us out.